And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, DJ Mitchell beside him, Crash Wagers on the bottom, Toller on the bottom right. Welcome in, guys. Welcome, DJ and Crash. You guys, first time on the show. Awesome. Um, we are going to jump in to the first game. Boston Bruins are in Minnesota. Minus 110 for Boston, minus 110 for Minnesota, total 6, minus 110 each way in this game. Bring up the stats here. Sorry. Boston 5-0-1 in their last 6 games, playing great hockey right now. 3 over, 3 under. 3 of their last 6 have gone to overtime. Minnesota 2-3-1 in their last 6, 7 over, 1 under. 1 landed on 6. 2 of their last 6 games have gone to overtime. Boston 19-8-3 on the road. Minnesota 17-7-1 at home. Boston in the last 6 trips to Minnesota, they're 5-1, 1 over, 4 under, 1 landed on 6. 4 of the last 9 meetings have went to overtime. Goals for, advantage for the Wild. Goals against, advantage for Boston. Power play, slight advantage for Boston. And penalty kill, slight advantage for Boston. For me in this game, I did tell everybody on the show yesterday that I was not going to bet on Minnesota. I'm sticking to that. I'm not betting them to win. I am draw plus 320. I have a quarter unit on that. The fact that these two teams are going to overtime right now, and they have in the past, I'll take the draw there. And then I do have some wild props. I just couldn't resist. Kaprizov anytime goal, which was boosted at my book for plus 140. Boldy anytime goal, playing his hometown team. Also Boldy over half a point, and Fiala over half an assist. I like the Wild to get goals in this game. I like both teams to get goals in this game, but I think Boston does win it in the end. Nick, Bruins, Wild, what do you think here?
Yeah, this is one I stayed completely off of. I have really no interest in this game. If it wasn't a second half of a back-to-back, granted, it's going to be Swayman in net, which is definitely the better goaltender for Boston. I would lean towards Boston in this spot until we start seeing better from the home team here. But looking at it, we have Boston who's actually gone under 6 expected goals in 9 straight games. So actually, this would be a lean towards the under in this game for me if I had to get to something here. Minnesota also under in 3 of their last 4 games for expected goals with this 6 number as well. So I'd lean towards that direction. This heavy overtrend for Minnesota does scare me a little bit from that. So for me, it's a lean towards Boston and the under. I didn't bet anything though.
All right. DJ, Bruins Wild, what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, these two teams actually rate out to be the worst expected goals on the entire slate. And I think it's matchup dependent for that reason. So I definitely lean the under. Boston, I think, will outshoot the Wild for sure. And Talbot's been bad in net. So I lean Boston slightly, but I just not enough to bet it. I feel like it's a good bet. It's not a great bet. I'm more interested in the props here. And I think on the Bruins side, I don't understand. I mean, I'm looking at DraftKings Sportsbook. They have, last I checked, and I'm pulling it up right now to make sure it's the same. They have Bergeron at over half a point at plus 1 or minus 135 for over half a point for Bergeron. That blew me away. I don't understand that at all. He's been one of the best rate shooters over the past 10 on the entire slate. So you could take him to score. Actually, in this slate, in the top 10, Bergeron, Marchand, and Pastrnak are all in the top 10 for iCourse per game. They all seem like good bets in their own right, but Bergeron, probably the best playmaker on the entire team. So I don't get that at all. I think he's much more likely to have a point than Pastrnak at minus 180. So I lock that up as my favorite bet of this game for sure. The under is fine. I agree with everything that's been said before me, though, where it is risky with how I think fragile the goaltending is. So I think I'm just going to play the props here and hope that there's a few lucky goals and we move on.
All right. Crash, what do you think here? Boston, Minnesota?
I'm leaning definitely towards Boston. I think they should pretty much dominate in most most categories here, other than the fact that they played last night. But, I mean, the schedule is going to be jam-packed, so that's going to be something everyone's doing. They got Swayman in net. So I'm taking Boston money line minus 110. And then as far as the props go, I like Craig Smith. I keep landing on him. I don't know if I'm going to take him. I like Bergeron at plus 100 for over 3.5. And then I found Taylor Hall 1 point minus 115. He's got 7 out of his last 10 on the road, but he's got 7 in a row versus Minnesota. So I don't know if that's something worth looking at, but that's pretty much all I got for that game.
All right. Toller, Bruins and Wild, what do you think here?
Yeah, basically, like y'all said, the over's trending right now for both of these teams. But it does look like an under, but I can't bet an under in hockey games. It's not fun. I've been saying in my Discord all week, I won't bet an under. Don't really want to pick a side. If it wasn't a back-to-back, I'd definitely go with the Bruins because of the goalie matchup we have ahead. If I were to pick anything, I'd probably just go for Boston to score first since it is Talbot again in for the Wild. Other than that, I probably wouldn't play anything unless you catch it live over 4.5 somehow if there's no goals in the first period.
All right. We will jump right ahead to the next game here. Columbus plus 115 is in Ottawa minus 135. A total of 6.5 in this game. I'll bring up the stats here. Columbus 3-2-2 in their last 7 games. 5 over, 1 under, 1 landed on 6. 3-7 went to overtime. Ottawa 2-7 in their last 9. 5 over, 4 under, 1 went to overtime. Columbus 3-2-1 in their last 6 trips to Ottawa. 4 over, 2 under, 2 of 6 went to overtime. Goals for, advantage for Columbus. Goals against, advantage for Ottawa. Penalty kill, advantage for Ottawa. And a slight advantage on the power play as well for Ottawa. I like Columbus. I like Columbus here on the spot. They've been playing better than Ottawa has right now. I'm on the Columbus money line plus 115, and Columbus race to 3 goals plus 135. Only a quarter unit on that though. But I think Columbus wins this game. I can't trust Ottawa right now with how they're playing. Nick, Blue Jackets, Sens, what do you think here?
Yeah, I still think the Senators are the better overall team when we look at this matchup here. More than anything in this game, I like goals. Both these teams have been hemorrhaging goals like crazy. If we look at the expected numbers for Columbus, they've given up at least 3 expected goals in 8 of their last 10 games. So, and then they've actually given up at least 3 expected goals in 9 of their last 10 games. So they're giving up goals. They've gone over the total. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of their last 7. They're 5-1-1 to the 6 number. It's actually 6.5 now. So I guess it's then 5-2 to the over in their last 7 games. Ottawa's gone over in 3 straight. They've given up at least 3 in 3 straight. They've scored at least 3 in 4 straight. I think we see goals in this game, and I also like the Ottawa Senators team total over 3.5 at even money is what I got it at. I think that we see this game be a 4-3, 5-4 type of game. I think Ottawa wins, and I think this game goes over the total. So Sens team total and full game over 6.5.
All right. DJ?
Yeah, I think a lot of the same. I mean, this is really the battle of teams that surprised us by either being terrible in net or scoring way more than they should. And Columbus kind of shows up as the team that's probably scored their more over expected than anyone in the past 10. I don't know if I love them to do that again here. Jenner being out. I think the easy best prop is Bjorkstrand's shots over 2.5. I got it at plus 105. He's back on the top power play, back getting 20 minutes of ice time. They're just feeding him with Sillinger and Domi, not the best rate shooters. I mean, we don't have a ton of run on Sillinger to know, but I still think Bjorkstrand's really sets up nice here in this spot. I just don't like Roslovic and Nyquist with Line. I think that line gets a big downgrade without Jenner. So I'm riding with the hot line and Bjorkstrand personally. I think if you're going crazy, getting the same game parlay, I've been getting some big ones lately that I've been trying to hit. I think this is the game to do it in just because the condensation of offense is really well noted. Ottawa is going to do everything they can to get Shabbat, Brady, and Norris on the ice as much as possible. And Columbus is going to do the same with Laine, Werenski, who almost saw 30 minutes, and Bjorkstrand. I think there was Sillinger got a little more run because he had like a hat trick, but it's just so obvious to see where it's going to come from. So that's probably the most fun game. I think the over is the most likely to hit, but it is a 6.5. So you never know. Goaltending matchup is bad. And I think that both of these teams have, while they have nothing to play for, it seems like they have a lot of pride to play for. Ottawa, after the game, I know maybe it was Shabbat, was saying how miserable the locker room was, how sad, angry everyone was after their loss to Arizona. I really think that got to them. So, take all the numbers, take all the model, but, make sure we're still looking at what these teams are doing and try to take a little bit of that out of the picture. I think Ottawa wants to win this one, and I'm not going to bet the money line. It just doesn't seem like any fun. So I'm going to get a lot of props in this one. And Bjorkstrand is the easy best one. And then in the only other guy in the top 5 that is in this, Shabbat is iCourse 4 per 60 is the 6th guy. So he has had a ton of shots. His over 3.5 is a little bit tough as a defenseman to want to play, but Brady is just a bit below him, almost 6 shot attempts per game in his last 10. I think his over 3.5 is really in play here again. I know Norris had the goals, but I think he'll net one here tonight too. So I'm playing Brady a lot.
All right. That Sports Guy, welcome in. We talked Boston, Minnesota, and we're talking Columbus, Ottawa. So I guess what do you think in Boston, Minnesota?
I'm rolling with the Bruins. I know they're on a back-to-back here, but just kind of looking at how they've been playing lately and how the Wild have been playing on the other side, I think you got to go with Boston. And then looking at how Boston has played against the Wild and in Minnesota, I know you like to look at those stats, Terry. They've enjoyed success. I think 5-1 in their last 6 in Minnesota. I think Boston's got the edge defensively. I think they got the edge in net as well with Talbot going for the Wild. So I think this is a Boston spot. Like I said, I know they're playing it back-to-back, but I think both teams are playing their 4th game in 6 nights, I believe. So I don't know. I don't really read it too much into that fatigue kind of thing here. So I took the Bruins on the money line at -110. And then in this Columbus game, I didn't bet anything at all. I think it's kind of a weird game. In terms of expected goals, the Sens are playing all right, but at the same time, they're still giving up goals. And then Columbus is a little bit of a weird team right now as well. They are playing better. They've played some better opponents, and they've done well against them, but I don't know if I want to take them at +110, 115. I know Merzlikis, he struggles a bit more on the road, so I don't know if I fully want to back them just at this price. It'd be a lean towards the Jackets at plus money, but I think I'm just going to stay away from this game.
All right. Crash, Blue Jacket Senators, what do you think here?
I'm pretty much the same as everyone else. It's kind of a toss-up for me. It seems like it's 2 bad teams with 2 struggling defense. I am going to take the over 6.5 at 105. I think that's a good bet. Just it's going to be lots of goals here tonight, I think. As far as any props, I like Laine and Norris to score. I think they're both at +120. Probably not going to pull the trigger, but those are some good leans. And then if I had to pick, I would take Columbus money line +110. But I find it's hard to get a read on this game. It's kind of it could go either way.
Yeah, for sure. Toller, Blue Jackets and Senators.
Yeah, like we all know, it's going to be goals tonight. I don't want to play out that high of an over. I don't know the exact odds on it right now, but a goal in the first 10 minutes would be something I'd look at for that. Elvis on the road is trash. He's averaging like 4 goals allowed every time he's on the road. Ottawa needs a good confidence booster. Both teams are going to score. I don't do props much, but Brady Tkachuk to get some points or some assists, goal. I'm looking to him on his props because tonight's going to fall on his shoulders. He's going to have to get his team started here at home. But other than that, really, I didn't play much on this either. I'd like to watch it for the goals, but I'm not going to pick a side.
All right.
What's the price on both teams to score in the first right now, Terry?
Ooh,
Let me quickly check that.
that's interesting.
If I were to take anything, I think that might be it because, like you guys said,
+125.
plus 125. So you're not getting as much.
Yeah, those are
as you
usually
normally
way
would.
up there. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. That might be a look for me. I'll see kind of after the show when I'm able to get back to my book.
All right.
Plus 140 in Bovada.
A little more interesting with 15 cents there. I don't know. I know last time these two teams played, they played to a 2-1 game in Columbus. I think I was on the over in that game. But like you guys said, Merzlikis on the road, not good. And both teams hemorrhaging goals. So definitely a look.
All right. I will jump into the third game here. New Jersey plus 265 is in Calgary, minus 330. Total of 6 in this game. New Jersey 3-4 in their last 7 games. 3 over, 4 under. 2 of 7 went to overtime. Calgary 4-2 in their last 6. 2 over, 4 under. 1 went to overtime. New Jersey 8-19-2 on the road. Calgary 18-5-5 at home. The Flames 8-1-1 in their last 10 games at home against the Devils. 6 over, 3 under. 2 of 10 went to overtime. Goals for, advantage Flames. Goals against, huge advantage Flames. Penalty kill, big advantage Flames. Power play, big advantage Flames. Goaltending, Markstrom confirms, big advantage Flames. I don't really know what else to say except the Flames. They have a huge advantage here. Are they going to come through? I think coming off the 3-0 loss to Colorado, I think we're going to get a motivated Flames team here against a Devils team that did not look good yesterday. Calgary has dominated New Jersey in this building. I'm going on the puck line, minus 125 for a full unit, and another full unit on Calgary race to 4 goals, also minus 125. I think the Flames completely control this game. Nick, Devils Flames, what do you think?
I will take your puck line and raise you a super puck line on this game, minus 2.5 at plus 145 with the Flames. I made money fading this New Jersey team last night against Vancouver, and I think that they do the same thing tonight. I think they struggle again tonight. This goaltending situation is probably the worst in the NHL when you look at the New Jersey Devils with Gillies and Dawes. I mean, these are two guys that shouldn't even probably be anywhere near the NHL ice, I want to say. So I feel like this is a spot here where, yeah, this is a Flames domination spot. If you do like New Jersey, I think the first period is the only way you can target New Jersey in this spot. Maybe they jump out early, but the Flames are going to run away with this game late. I could see a 4-1, 5-1, 6-1 type of game here with the Flames. So I went with Flames minus 2.5 at plus 145.
I like it. DJ, what do you think here, Devils and Flames?
It's really hard to argue. The top 4 teams in expected goals, at least with my model. Number 1 is Ottawa, 2 is Calgary, 3 is New Jersey. That was pretty surprising to me. Pace-wise, Calgary should have the most shots of any team on the entire slate. So that adds up. So really what it comes down to is, can New Jersey's goaltending show up? I don't think so. I don't think anyone thinks so. They got, Dawes got pulled last game. I think he's the better of the two, and he's probably not going to start. So it does set up to be a game where Calgary could, smash the team total. I think that would be the way I'd go about it, because they do project to have really a ton of shot volume and the highest expected goals. So I'd probably just go with them at like over 4.5, rather than think that New Jersey can't score, because I do think they can. And I think this New Jersey team has a really, really underrated offense that I'm keeping an eye on. Dougie Hamilton, still not on the first power play, but he did actually get on the first unit only to get scored on against, which did kind of stink, because I really want him back up there. Zacha got hurt. He is very unlikely to play. That also hurts the upside for New Jersey. A lot of people, I don't know how many of you are heavy DFS people. A lot of the smart bettors that I follow were all over Vancouver, and for good reason. So I think this is another spot where Calgary could score, a half a dozen. That's where I'm going to go. And then player prop wise, Elias Lindholm is probably I'd say the best shot bet in this game, but it really is a rotating wheel of top line guys who get the best, who get the opportunity. But over 2.5 at plus 100 just seems egregious. He's in the top 15 in the past 10 shot attempts. I see no reason why he couldn't dominate whatever line he goes against. And I just don't know why I'd pay down on a guy like Matt Tkachuk or pay down on a guy Gaudreau as 3.5. It's like Lindholm is just as likely to hit, if not more likely, as the recent play. So that's really good. And then any power play point for anyone on Calgary at one power play, they just get so much run. Pick the guy that's the worst. And last note is that Killington is back in, further boosting Calgary's offensive upside. He's been really, really good. So yeah, there's just no reason to get too cute with this one. Favorite bet is probably Calgary over 4.5. I'm looking at DraftKings Sportsbook plus 150.
Nice. I like it. That Sports Guy, Devils Flames. What do you think here?
Yeah, I think you guys kind of nailed it already. I'm on the Flames here as well. Tried to find where I could find value. I looked at the Flames first period team total. I took over 1 flat at minus 105. That's probably going to be my best bet of the night as well. I think New Jersey on a back-to-back here on the year. I believe they're 2-7-2, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have it written down. I can't find what I got. But on back-to-backs, they have
That's right.
struggled this year. And then if you look, like it was said, I think Dawes is the better of the two goalies, and they're throwing Gillies out there tonight, who hasn't played in a little bit. And the last time he did play, or last time he started, he gave up 6. I think in back-to-back, in his last 2 starts, I think he gave up 6 both times. So he can get beat. And like you said, Terry, coming off that 3-0 loss to the Flames, to the Avs, I think this is the Flames come out hungry here back at home. So I took the first period team total over 1 at minus 105, and then I paid the juice on the team total over 3.5. I got 2 units on that at minus 150. I haven't really given out anything over minus 125, minus 130 all year until now. I don't know. I think this is a Flame spot. I'm willing to pay the minus 150 in this rare spot. I put 2 units on that. So that's it for me.
Awesome. Yeah, I won. I was looking at that, but I went with the race to 4, minus 125, just for the little bit better money.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. Obviously, I know those race to goals are pretty nice, where you can get almost 10 to 15 cents better. But I don't know. I paid the juice here.
Hey, no worries. Crash, Devils Flames. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Calgary too. My model's showing it to be a little bit of a closer game. But most metrics you look at and everything you guys have talked about leans towards Calgary. But I agree. I think New Jersey can put some pucks in the net too. So I'm leaning towards the over 6 at minus 130. It's a little juicy, but you can get over 6.5 at plus 100. And then for props, I'm leaning Hughes over 3.5, but I don't love the matchup against Calgary. And then I also like Hannafin over 2.5 at plus 146. I heard the guys on the Prop Up show this morning talking about it, and I looked at that, and it's 5 out of 6 of his last 6, with at least 4 shots. And then I also like the Foley over 2.5 minus 125. That's about it.
All right. Nick had to head on out to his other show. So he is gone, but I have his best bet. So that'll be at the end of the show. Toller, Devils Flames. What do you think here?
Yeah, if you know hockey, you know the Flames should easily win this one. If not, we're in simulation or something. I don't see the Devils doing anything tonight after what I saw yesterday. Hard to find value, like somebody said earlier. I don't know the odds on it, but all periods over 1.5 would be something to look into. Don't hate that. I could easily see Calgary doing that on their own, especially if you're looking at race to 4, 5, and 6. I mean, they could easily get 1 or 2 by themselves a period. With the Devils being 2-9 in their previous games, 7 of those losses being in regulation, like Nick said, you could even go for Calgary in regulation for some better odds. But I think my parlay piece is going to be Flames money line tonight. Keep that train rolling.
Yeah, you're undefeated still, so I like it. Weapon X. We went over Boston, Minnesota, Columbus, Ottawa, and we're on Devils Flames. So quick times. What do you think of Boston, Minnesota?
Nah, I mean, it is what it is. The Devils are going to get clapped tonight. Dawes, whoever's in nets is going to be twerking all night. This is a Flames team that are probably a couple of pieces away from being a real Stanley Cup contender. I know they're the closest thing to the Avalanche in the West by far. They have the best coach in the league, hands down. That's not even a debate. And right here, they're back at home, and the Devils are back-to-back. And you look at high danger chances, you look at how they play hockey, fast pace, fast turnovers. This team's going to come out and probably get a big lead, and they're probably not going to lay off. Probably, I don't think they even play tomorrow, right? So they're not looking ahead over anyone, I think. So yeah, they're playing the Sabres after. So that should tell you everything you need to know. They don't need to look ahead. I like a bunch of props in this game. I love the angles with the super puck line at plus 140. The team total at 4.5. I'm already on it. You could also probably do like a bet bill parlay with the over 6 and the money line for Calgary. If you think it's going to be some sort of high scoring, tighter game, where Calgary still comes out on top, that's plus 130 on Bet365. And then anytime goal scorer, I like Mangiapane to get back on the score sheet here at plus 175, plus 200, depending on which book you can find it. He scored 2 goals against the Devils, and in the beginning of the season, he only used to score on the away, but now he's scoring at home too, and all those lines can score. Bringing Toffoli in really has helped all of these lines kind of come up and get more productive. So it is what it is.
All right. Quickly, what do you think in Boston, Minnesota? Any thoughts?
Oh, Boston, Minnesota. Yeah, I'm on the Minnesota side here. Boston actually expended a lot more energy than they should have yesterday to beat the Hawks. They played a really good defensive game, but they just couldn't get past Flower. They're on back-to-back. Minnesota needs a big win here, so I think this game probably we see like over 6 or 6, and the Wild's gonna pull this at home. I got Boldy anytime goal scorer in this one. Him over shots, that's a plus money at over 2.5. Books still have completely ignored the amount of high danger chances he's getting around the net and how much he's shooting. So might as well hammer it while it's still plus money.
All right. And Columbus, Ottawa. I'm guessing from your background there that I might know where you're going in this game.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I think the Blue Jackets at plus money here are the play for me personally. Senators have been getting destroyed in high danger chances. We've seen it against the Coyotes twice. They dominated that game. What was it? They had like 9 shots through 2 periods, and the Coyotes still won that game. So
Yeah, so Lex wants to know what the shot
Lex, Matt Boldy to get over 2.5 shots. That on most books should be plus money. He's playing on the second line with Fiala, and I mean, you know your squad, right? So he also has extra juice playing against Boston, right? He's from there, I believe.
Yeah, he was a Boston boy.
Today, so, and he's gunning for that Calder Trophy, right?
Exactly.
You got a couple of games to catch up on. So,
Eddie, I stuck to my promise. I did not bet on the Wild to win. I did bet some props, but what can I do? I'm a sucker for the Wild, but we'll go on to the final game of the night. Tampa is in Seattle, minus 300 for the Lightning, plus 240 here for the Kraken. Bring up the stats here. Tampa 3-3 in their last 6, 2 over, 4 under. Seattle 1-3-1 in their last 5. If I went back further, it's been a rough stretch for the Kraken. In their last 6 games, 5 over, 1 under. 2 of their last 5 went to overtime. Tampa 19-10-2 on the road. Seattle 10-17-3 at home. huge advantage in goals for the Lightning. Advantage goals against as well. Pretty even penalty kills, and an advantage here for Tampa on the power play. Vasilevsky versus Grubauer, obviously advantage here with the Lightning. Kind of like the Flames game, I took the exact same bets. Tampa on the puck line plus 100, and Tampa race to 4 goals plus 110. Both half unit plays on that. I like the Lightning here. This Kraken team, they're not very good. They did get a win their last game, but they're a pretty bad team. I think Tampa comes in here and gets the win.
That was against Montreal. Just put it out.
DJ, Lightning, Kraken, what do you think here?
Yeah. I mean, obviously Tampa's going to be the heavy favorite. I'm not going to bet on any of the like the money lines and the overs and unders, because every fiber of my being wants to stick to the math and say, like, there's just no way Grubauer is this bad. There's no way he regressed this much. Giordano's not going to play for the Kraken. That definitely hurts their defense. That's already been, it must be part of the problem why Grubauer has gone from one of the better goalies in the league to literally useless, like AHL quality useless. But I think the way I'm going to look at this game is there's some good shot props that I'm going to take. I think Stamkos is the standout best one at minus 125 over 2.5. He's had over 5 shot attempts per game in his last 10. Seems easy enough. I love Kucherov. I'm wearing a Kucherov jersey. He's just so incredibly good. The shot volume's there, and when it's there, he finds the goals. So I did take him to score. I have no faith in really anyone on the Kraken. Getting the shot volume that they need. Both teams are good at suppressing shots overall, but both teams let in a little bit more than expected, except when Vasilevsky's on. So, yeah, it's a really tricky game, I think, but I'm just going to go with the props. And if I had to, if you gunned ahead, I would just take, Tampa minus 2.5 and have more fun with it. Just say that Grubauer implodes and Tampa runs away. This is a Lightning team that, again, they have a really condensed offense, but even when they don't have those top 2 lines, the bottom 6 has contributed. Corey Perry has been useful enough to where you're not they're not completely putting those guys out there to just play defense. Like, they still can contribute on offense. So yeah, overall this game though, it's not my favorite by any stretch. I do think this game could set up to just be a 3-1 turd. Or even, really Vasilevsky could just have a shutout, because Seattle's expected goals are one of the worst in the league. I'm going to just take my favorite bet being Stamkos over 2.5 and Kucherov to score and move on. But I do think you could definitely have more fun with Tampa if you'd like.
Awesome. That's Sports Guy. Lightning, Kraken, what do you think here?
Obviously you're seeing Tampa as a heavy favorite here, so I think they win this game. Obviously, I tried to find a way to back them, and what I decided to go with is the first period puck line. Tampa first period minus 0.5 is, I think, even money. I think we see Tampa get out early. The Seattle team is not good. Grubauer's going for them, obviously, we said, and he hasn't been good all year. I think we'll see Vasilevsky come out and continue his strong performance. He played really well against the Nucks there in Vancouver. I think Vancouver started off slow, but then once they got their legs under him, they kind of threw a lot of pucks towards him, and he stood on his head. And that's what he does, right? So, I mean, I'm expecting similar sort of thing tonight. I think the Bolts get after it early. I think they get up 1-2 in the first. So give me that first period puck line, and that's kind of it for me.
All right. Sorry. Crash, how do you think Lightning and Kraken?
Pretty much the same as everybody else. I think Tampa Bay should run away with this one. Seattle struggling offensively. Tampa Bay's been strong. The only thing stands out for Seattle is they're in the top amongst for shots against. They don't really allow a lot of shots. So I found one little prop that I don't know if I'll play it, but Braden Point under 2.5 shots on goal for minus 108. He's under 7 of his last 10. He just seems to be in a bit of a slump, and it's a good matchup for that prop. But as far as main market plays, I think I'll go with Tampa Bay puck line minus 105. But other than that, I don't see much for Seattle.
All right. Toller, what do you think here, Lightning Kraken?
Yeah, definitely not the 9 o'clock game that I'm going to be watching. Not a big fan of Kraken games. They steal coins, as we all know. It seems no matter what I do on a Kraken game, it just never pans out for me. Kraken have lost 11 of their last 13, giving up 3 or more in like the last 10 straight of those, I think. I would like to play the over 5.5, but I don't want to count on the Kraken to get 2 or even 3. So more than likely, I'm just not going to touch that game. Just rather be safe than sorry on it.
All right. The order definitely got mixed up. That's Sports Guy. You talked about this game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What next?
Yeah, fuck, they should be smacking the Kraken here, but Tampa for some reason offensively has been a little down lately. So I think they might just like get the lead in the first, like Ryan said, and park the bus. The value is better on the puck line on the first period at 0.5, at minus 0.5 at plus 110 on bet 265. So I think that's one angle I'll be attacking, and then probably cash that one out, and that's it. And probably look at some props here. And I might parlay just for shits and giggles, the super puck line on this game, and then the super puck line on the Calgary game.
Hey, sounds interesting to
Because
me.
I'm bored and I got nothing else to do.
I'd like to see Tampa offense down on the road. And then Lex asked about the team total. I went Tampa race to 4 goals, meaning they have to score 4 goals first. So it's basically the team total, but Tampa has to score the goals first.
Yeah, the books don't expect Tampa to even put more up than 4 because the over 4.5 is at plus 205.
Wow.
That's how big of a discrepancy it is between 3.5 and 4.5 for Tampa.
All right. We will go into dog of the day here. I am on Columbus, but I'm not choosing them as my dog of the day. Dog of the day has been pretty rough for me so far. 1-5 currently. So because I have money here on Columbus, I'm not going to choose them as my dog of the day. So none for me.
Did Hurdle just get traded? That happened before. I thought I saw a notification in one of my group chats. I don't know. Some sort of trade just happened, I think.
Breaking news on the show. I don't see anything.
Oh, I saw a banner from a
He signed an extension.
He signed an extension. Oh, okay. I just
Oh,
saw,
8 million.
Yeah.
somebody
Figure it
said
out.
Hurdle just set the bar for JT Miller in one of my group chats. So I thought potentially it was a trade, but I guess they meant for an extension. What did he get?
8 by 8.
Okay.
8 years, 8 million.
Wow.
I mean, I think they were looking at JT for 8 times 8.5, but he's coming up on the other side of 30. So I don't know if that's in the best interest of the Knox. But
I'm surprised.
That's for another day.
I'm surprised they signed Hurdle. My God, I thought they were going to trade him.
You never know, not unless he has a no trade clause. But yeah, so no dog of the day for me. Nick did not put in a dog of the day either. Nathan sent in his. He is going with Columbus. Vito, no dogs of the day. Car God went with Columbus. Occupancy went with Columbus. Melissa went with Columbus. That's Sports Guy. Do you have a dog of the day?
No, not today. No.
Right, DJ.
Is it only a team money line? Is that it?
Yeah. So dog of the day is an underdog money line. It's completely
Okay,
optional. You don't have to pick one. But if there is like Seattle or something like that.
Yeah, no, it is. That is. I mean, it almost feels like cheating, but it's probably Boston is the easiest pick here. But like, they're not even like a plus money bet.
Yeah, that's why it's meant to. Yeah, it has to be plus.
It's just I like Ottawa too much. Yeah, I'll just pass on that. I was gonna try to get crazy with something, but like I could find a crazy plus money bet in the props that I would just be like, here it is. But we don't have to do
it has to be like the dog. All
right, then no thanks. A lot of games tomorrow. There'll be plenty of dogs.
Yeah, Toller.
Yeah, I'm not known for these, as my record states. So we're just gonna have fun with it and throw out the Kraken. Hopefully, they can steal me some coins for this one.
Oh, all right, the Kraken. Well, I would wish you luck, but I want to have a puck line, so
You
Crash.
want to just take you taking
As long
Yanni
as they do it
Gord.
after the first period, I'm good with it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, you got to put Yanni Gord with that. Just go same game parlay at least. Then Gord double goal, a little revenge narrative. Take all the coins.
Yeah, I like Gord for a point too.
Yeah, he really isn't a terrible bet. I mean, Seattle is just the problem with Seattle is you
They
pull
have
up their
to
four
score,
lines
though.
and you pull up their four lines and you're like, which one is number one? And you're like,
They also lost McCann, right?
No,
I was
he
gonna
was
say
back.
wherever
He's back.
McCann is.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, but wherever McCann is, he's the only one that shoots. So then you just take the other guys and throw them out. Yeah, Seattle's just no fun. I agree with everything everyone said. Like betting for or against them is just the most painful experience of your life.
Exactly. Crash, you're not going with Doc, right?
No, if I had to pick, I'd go Columbus, but that's a
You
toss
don't have
up for
to.
me.
So, all right, Weapon
There you
X,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to jinx it, so
staying off.
yeah.
All
There's
right.
a lot of games tomorrow. We'll get it done.
Next up, over or under, and then we'll get to best bets, best parlay pieces. No over under for me. I am passing. Nick went with Columbus, Ottawa over 6.5. Nathan also Columbus, Ottawa over 6.5. Nothing for Vito there. Car God, New Jersey, Calgary over 6. Nothing for occupancy. And Boston, Minnesota over 6 for Melissa. That Sports Guy, do you have a total you like today?
No.
All right, DJ.
I would do New Jersey, Calgary over 6. It is minus 125, but it definitely rates in my model as the best. I think Calgary could almost, like I said, I like them to get to 5, 4 or 5, and I think I think New Jersey's offense is very underrated. They want to push the pace, they want to try to score, and Jack Hughes is one of the best 10 rate shooters in the league over the past 10. I think he could definitely, if he doesn't score himself, he can get a rebound, and that line's rolling. So I think they'll score a couple against Markstrom.
All right, Toller.
I'm not gonna touch him today.
No problem. Crash.
Yeah, I was on Ottawa, Columbus over 6.5.
Yeah. All right. Weapon X.
Yeah. Staring at me. It really is. Over 6.5. Calgary and Devils.
It's 6. You get 6.
Well, I have it at 6.5 on cool bet. That's plus 104.
Odds
Yeah.
don't matter, bro. Just
Yeah,
take the
exactly.
six.
For over under, it's
Give
just
it to the
Take the
No,
6.
it's over
Just
6.
take the
Go
six.
with over 6. I
You and
forgot
your
how-
chasing plus
Never
money.
mind.
next up.
Always
Best
chasing
bets,
the bread.
best parlay
No.
pieces. That Sports Guy is up in the lead now, all by himself, comfortably.
Now, come on, man.
We'll see what he can do.
And the crash can come quick. It's okay.
All right.
Look
took
at
a
the
week
Seattle
off there,
Seahawks.
man. Hey, fuck off, man. I don't even. I
All
don't
right,
even
yeah,
want,
let's,
I don't even
let's-
want to swear. You got me swearing, man. Don't bring up the Seahawks, all right?
All right. For
Hey,
me,
you're talking to a Cleveland Browns fan over here. Let's not get too mad at ourselves before you literally piss off your only quarterback before Watson doesn't come to you. All right, after decades of pain. Okay.
all right. For me, best bet, Calgary puck line, minus 1.5, minus 125. Nick sent in his. He's going Tampa Bay minus 1.5. Nathan went with Rasmus Anderson to get an assist on Calgary. Vito's my favorite guy today. His best bet, shockingly, Minnesota in regulation, plus 140. Car God went with Fiala over 2.5 shots, minus 145. Occupancy went with Columbus and Reg, plus 155. Melissa, Calgary puck line. Let's start with Crash. You already sent yours in.
Yeah, I think I went Boston money line minus 110.
Boston money line. Toller.
What are the odds on Boston to score first?
Let me check in. Boston. to score the first goal, minus 120.
Stamp that. I'll take it.
All right. DJ?
I'll do Elias Lindholm over 2.5 plus 100. That is, I think that's like the best prop like equity you're gonna get, and a guy that in the best team total for shots that I have, best pace in a game, best over, and he's been shooting more than like everyone on the team. So
2.5?
Yeah, 2.5 plus 100. That just,
wow.
doesn't seem right? That one and the Bergeron point minus 135 were the two that just blew me away. So
yeah, that's pretty good odds there. I'll let Weapon X think because usually he needs some time to ponder. So ponder away. That's Bart's guy. What do you think here?
Flames first period team total over 1 minus 105. That's over 1, not 1.5. So I'll
Over
give
1 in the first period?
Yeah.
And what's the odds for that?
minus 105.
All right.
What book is that on?
Bodog.
Hmm.
Or Bovada for you Americans out there.
Bro, I'm in Canada too, bro.
All right. Weapon X, are you ready, or do you want us to come back to you and do Parlay Pieces first?
Yeah, do Parlay Pieces first.
Okay. For me, Parlay Piece, Boldy, over 0.5 point. I think he's going to get a point here against his hometown team. Nick went with Calgary money line. Crash went Boston team total over 2.5. Nathan, Calgary, New Jersey to score in the first 9.5 minutes in the first period. So if you can't take that, obviously first 10. Vito, Boston, Minnesota over 5.5. Cargod, Columbus, Ottawa, first period over 1.5. Occupancy, Columbus plus 1.5. Melissa, Calgary money line. Toller, what do you think here?
Calgary money line.
All right. DJ?
I'll stick with the props. Brady the Chuck over 0.5 point minus 170.
Nice.
Yeah, he is actually over the past 10 the highest individual expected goals per game in the entire slate, which is interesting. He just hasn't scored, and it's like Norris has taken all the goals from him, but he's played so well. I mean, I think that one feels real nice.
Awesome. That's Bart's guy.
I will go with. We got Flames. I'll go with Flames team total over 3.5.
Great. Weapon X.
Yeah, I'll go with Columbus money line plus 150.
Your best bet?
Yep.
All right. And Parlay Piece.
Parlay Piece. Mangiapane to record a point.
Right. All right. That is the show. If you want to find everybody's best bet, best parlay piece, it is on the spreadsheet, which is in the link in the description of this video as well. Everyone that's on the show today, their link to their Twitters will also be in the link in the description of this video. Smash the like button if you haven't. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate all the support. Thanks to our newcomers, DJ and Crash. Awesome to have you guys.
Thanks for having me on, man.
No problem.
If you want to come Seattle.
If you want to come back on again anytime, let me know. And from now on, if you want to send me your best bets before the show to keep up in the standings, feel free. And that's it. Best of luck to everybody tonight.
Baker just got traded to Seattle. What?
Yeah, shut up.
Shut up.